Okay, so let's talk about something big that's on the horizon for 2026. Nigeria's entire tax system is getting a massive overhaul. And whether you're earning a salary, freelancing, or running your own small business, these changes are definitely going to affect your finances. So let's break down exactly what this all means for you and your wallet. This is the big question on everyone's mind, right? Is your tax bill about to go up, go down, or just get a lot more confusing? Well, the short answer is it's absolutely changing. The government's aiming for a system that's simpler and fairer for everyone, so let's dive in and see what that actually looks like. To really get what's happening, you have to look at the why. For years, the tax system has been, well, a bit of a maze. It's been complex with overlapping rules and honestly, a lot of inconsistencies. This 2026 reform is basically a total reset. The goal is to scrap that old, manual, and confusing process and bring in something that's streamlined, fair, and finally digital. So here's how we're going to break it down. First, we'll look at the big picture makeover. Then, we'll get personal and see how it hits your salary. After that, we'll check out what it means for small businesses, tackle some of the biggest concerns flying around, and then wrap it all up with the main takeaway. All right, first up, Nigeria's tax system makeover. The big question is, why now? What's the driving force behind all this? The key thing to remember is this isn't just a minor adjustment. We're talking a complete restructuring from the ground up. The main goals are to simplify the rules, so you don't need to be a tax expert to understand them, widen the tax base so that the responsibility is shared more fairly, and bring the whole system online to slash all that paperwork and reduce errors. Okay, now for the part that I know a lot of you are waiting for, your salary. How is this reform actually going to change your take-home pay at the end of the month? This right here is one of the biggest headlines. If you earn 800,000 naira or less in a year, you are now completely exempt from personal income tax. This is a huge deal, a massive piece of relief aimed squarely at helping out low-income earners. So there's a really important shift happening here. That old, single, consolidated relief allowance, it's gone. And in its place, we're getting more specific, targeted reliefs. For example, you can now claim 20% relief on your rent, up to 500,000 naira. Better yet, anything you put into your pension, your health insurance, or the National Housing Fund can be fully deducted. What that means is you're only taxed after these essential costs are taken care of. Okay, we've covered salaried workers. But what about all the small businesses, the SMEs, the freelancers, who are really the engine of the economy? This next part is for you. And this is the headline news. If your business has an annual turnover under 50 million naira, your corporate income tax rate is now 0. That's right, 0%. This is a massive incentive designed to help small businesses not just get by, but to actually grow, reinvest, and create more jobs. All right, let's run through a few other key facts you need to know. First off, VAT is staying put at 7.5%. And don't worry, essentials like food, education, and healthcare are still exempt. Here's a really crucial point. Tax is on the income you earn, not just on whatever money is sitting in your bank account. There's also good news for key growth areas. Incentives for tech, agriculture, and renewables are all staying in place. And finally, some things just aren't changing. Gifts and inheritances are still untaxed. With any big change, there's bound to be some worry and confusion. There's been a lot of chatter about this reform, so let's take a minute to really separate the facts from the fiction. This is probably the biggest fear I've seen making the rounds online. People are worried that this new digital system is basically a green light for tax authorities to just dip into their bank accounts whenever they want. So, is there any truth to that? The simple answer is no. This reform does not change the fundamental legal process for recovering taxes. It's still a careful, multi-step process. First, an assessment is made. Then you are officially notified. And here's the most important part: you have the right to appeal and object. Taking action is the absolute last resort, and it only happens after the entire legal process has played out. The system is getting smarter, not more aggressive. So what about all this talk of linking your tax ID number, your TIN, to your national ID and your bank details? Well, the whole point of this is simplification, not surveillance. It's about creating one single unified record for each taxpayer. This helps get rid of duplicate files and just makes it way easier for everyone to manage their taxes. Okay, we've gone through a lot of detail, so let's pull it all together. When all is said and done, what's the one big thing you really need to remember from all this? At the end of the day, this whole reform is really built on 5 key pillars. It's all about creating simpler rules and a fair system for everyone. It's about moving to a modern digital process. And most importantly, it's about providing real, tangible tax relief for low-income earners and direct support for our small and medium-sized businesses. So here's the bottom line. The plan, the blueprint, it looks good on paper. It's aiming for all the right things: fairness, simplicity, and economic growth. But the real test is always in the execution. The blueprint is ready, but the one question that remains is this: will we see a transparent and consistent implementation? The answer to that question is what will truly define the success of Nigeria's 2026 tax reform.